Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I work with a lot of individuals with attachment wounds. I'm also a doctoral student of psychology. And today I wanted to go over a topic that was requested. And it kind of works along the lines that avoidant individuals do not show their emotional investment in relationship as much as other attachment styles, particularly dismissive avoidance, but this is also fearful as well. And this video is basically kind of looking at who avoidant individuals actually emotionally respond to, right? And these aspects that I'm going to go over are actually things that you can implement in yourself. So it's not that if you're taking this video and trying to implement this in your relationship that you're being manipulative. That's not necessarily the goal at all. It's not. It is more that you want to make your partner open up and trust you, and you want to make yourself into a better person for your relationship, right? You want to become that. And that's not a bad thing if you have a genuine intention, right? And so that's why I want to bring this up to you guys. And the first one is agree to disagree instead of choosing ongoing discussions and disagreements. Now, why is this a trait that helps an avoidant individual to open up, feel loved by their partner, and emotionally respond? The reason is because avoidant individuals have a very unique, but a very specific perspective of what love is supposed to be. And their perspective is that arguing continuously is a sign that the relationship is not healthy. And there is some merit to it, but avoidants take it to the extreme. And so agreeing to disagree in their mind thinks, okay, we can both, no one has to adjust, right? And we don't have to continue fighting this over and over and over, right? Or the partner chooses to not have ongoing discussions, right? And so avoidant individuals think, okay, this is a sign that I am being loved. This is what love is supposed to look like. So I'm going to emotionally invest in this person and this relationship because I think that this is what love is and I think it's safe. That's what they think love is, right? And so it allows them to feel like, in an argument, they're not going to be picked on. They're not going to be told to change because this person is leaning away from arguments. When you agree to disagree, you are telling your partner the way you are is okay, right? It almost reassures them. I feel my way, you feel your way, right? I want the counters in the kitchen to have a green tone. You want it to be cream colored. We can agree to disagree and we can figure it out later. Right now, it's black. We're not going to get it remodeled right now. Right? We're just going to leave it that way. Neither of us know what to do, but let's agree to disagree. And maybe we can come back to it another point, but it's not that big of a deal. Our relationship, our peace, our harmony is more important, right? Agree to disagree. And so that's why it helps avoidance to feel accepted. It's okay that I want the green tone and you want cream. I'm accepted. I'm not wrong. I'm not abnormal. I'm not detached. I'm not what X, Y, and Z. I'm allowed to be myself. And so that's why they respond really well to that particular trait, okay? The next one is avoidants respond emotionally and connect well with individuals who are self-aware. So if an avoidant individual opens up and they say, hey, you've been a lot this weekend. You text me multiple times. It's really overwhelming. I told you not to do that. It makes me confused. I don't always know what to say. I'm not ignoring you, I just don't know what to say. And the partner can say, I did do that, and I'm aware that that's an issue I have. I'm working on it, but I will work on it more. I really apologize that I did that this weekend, right? And so self-awareness. I'm aware that I do that, and I shouldn't do that. Avoidant individuals think, what I say is valuable. You care about me and what I have to say. You're understanding me. You're hearing me. And you're not making fun of me. You're not telling me I have to change. You're making me feel like I have a say in this relationship too. This relationship is not just yours. It's also mine. Avoidant individuals, a lot of times why they pull away from relationships, and I don't think a lot of people know this, but that's why I'm sharing this video, is because they don't actually feel like they're going to get anything out of the relationship. They don't feel like the relationship is theirs. They feel like the relationship they're like forced to it, right? They don't have a choice. It's your relationship and I have to just do whatever you say. That's their perception of relationships. I just have to roll over. I have to give in. But if you show them, no, this relationship is yours too, you get something out of it as well. I am self-aware of my actions. I am self-aware. I do have a problem with doing that. I do have a problem where I double or triple text when you don't answer. I admit that, right? If you say that, the avoidant individual will also learn, model their behavior. I appreciate that. And they're also going to model it. And maybe next time they're going to say, or even now, and I know that I have trouble answering text messages. So that's on me as well. Let's both work on that. And I see this a lot. Avoidant individuals, once the other partner starts modeling some of these behaviors, they're more comfortable. And it can work the other way. Avoidant individuals can model as well. I'm just giving this an example, right? And the third one is apologize, which we can use that example again. I'm sorry that, I sent so many text messages this weekend. I should have waited for your response. I'm working on it. I hope that you can forgive me. Why do you think apologizing helps avoidant individuals to respond emotionally to somebody? The reason is because it allows them to feel like they're not always the one that has to change. They're not wrong, right? They get to be valued too. You can apologize to them. That means relationships are safe for them because they get apologies too. And that feels really nice. And it also models, just like we were talking about, it models the behavior that they can start apologizing as well, which I think is very important because avoidant individuals struggle with apologies. Actually, if I'm being honest, most individuals who are insecurely attached struggle with apologies. And so I think that's a really important one. Okay. The next one is very similar to the first one where we said agree to disagree, but this one is preferring peace over volatility. So that means in general, leaning into peace over disagreements or arguments, not even volatility, but just negativity in general. Like I had mentioned before, avoidant individuals have a perception that relationships in of itself should be, which is not necessarily accurate, but should be argument free or more positive than negative, which I like that one. But this kind of is just their belief at this point. And in order for them to learn and lean into it, they also have to cater and nurture that feeling, right? So in order for them to challenge their own belief, they also have to look at their own side as well. It's kind of like meeting them in the middle, right? Anxious individuals, would it really be healthy if I told an anxious individual, okay, in order for you to heal, I have to just take away all love and you have to just live on an island and be by yourself? No, of course not. And anyone who tells you that's exposure therapy is wrong. That's not even how it works. That's traumatic. That's called re-traumatizing in an unhealthy way. We don't want to do that. So in order for someone to actually heal, you have to lean into what they have while also leaning out, right? So an example could be for an anxious individual. Okay, you do want reassurance. That's wonderful. But your partner shouldn't just reassure you continuously, right? They reassure you and they give you that because you deserve that, but they're not going to give it on repeat all the time. And a lot of anxious individuals don't even need that. Once you give them reassurance, they're fine. Very similar to avoidant individuals. Once you give them peace, they are more likely to lean in to some of the disagreements and wanting to change. And so preferring peace over volatility or disagreements, negativity can look like maybe you're the anxious or the partner of the avoidant individual and you're upset about something. But then you think, we've had a really good couple weeks and I'm really happy where we're at. I am really annoyed that they took so long to answer my message, a couple hours. But you know what? They don't normally do that. So I'm going to let it slide, right? That's peace over volatility. It's not saying my partner didn't talk to me for 3 days and I'm going to let that slide. Don't let that slide. That's a little much. That one needs a conversation because, as I'd mentioned in another video, you have to hold your partner accountable. That is different. But if there's little things, you don't need to pick at the little things, right? There's actually, there's research that this is actually a really fundamental research. A lot of relationships, most of the little issues never get resolved. And that has nothing to do with the outcome of the relationship. It's completely fine. It's just the way it is. You're two different people, right? So that's something to remember. Peace over volatility, but that doesn't mean you're going to let go everything, right? You have to know a balance, and each couple has their own version, so I can't even speak to that for you. The next one, allow, probably not the best word. I don't have the best word right now. That'll be a placeholder. Allow your partner to make small mistakes without reprimanding them or putting them down. Okay. Maybe your partner did forget to text you. Don't tell them they're a bad texter. Don't, tell them they're detached. They don't care. They don't love you. Maybe you don't need to highlight it like that. Now, even if they did something big, you don't have to use it in a negative way, but maybe there's another way to say it. But in general, the small things, you don't need to reprimand it. In fact, if you do, you're just pushing your partner away. So avoidant individuals really, really respond well to individuals who do not reprimand or put them down in general, but especially not for small mistakes, okay? Really, really important, okay? The next one is avoidant individuals respond really well to individuals who trust them. And I think you guys can imagine why, right? If you feel trusted, you don't want to ruin that trust. However, that doesn't mean hand out trust to someone who didn't earn it. You always should guard your heart a little bit. But if you guys have been together for like 3 years and your partner has never done anything that you know of, like cheating wise, and you still want to look through their phone or you want to check who they're talking to, I feel like that's a little much. What do you think? I think at that point you can trust them. So there's a balance, and you guys as a couple have to work that out. Now, I hope this makes sense. Please subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next one.